Mr. Worf. Open a hailing frequency.
You hailed, and we responded. You transmitted, and we received. You thought, and we mind melded. Okay, you get the idea. But you commented on our previous episode, and we listened. Turns out there was just too much spooky to cover in one go-round. So brace yourself for more of Star Trek's scariest moments. In our first Scary Star Trek Scenes episode, we covered everything from a bloodthirsty horde of Klorn to a good old-fashioned Borg body horror. However, there were a number of worthy scenes that should have been included. So, here's 5 more horrifically chilling moments in Star Trek, ranked from watching it between your fingers to watching it during the day under the covers with all the lights on and a baseball bat just in case. Why are you guys putting me through this?
Glenn, but not forgotten.
In the 3rd episode of Season 1 of Discovery Context is for Kings, Burnham and co. board Discovery's sister ship, the USS Glenn, to investigate something terrible that's happened to the crew. And yeah, terrible is putting it mildly. They come across the mangled and mutilated bodies of the crew, bent in impossible ways. It's straight up a hallway of horrors, thanks to a spore drive experiment gone awry. Oh, and there's also remains of dead Klingons, thanks to an entirely different threat, which turns out to be an angry tardigrade.
Is he shushing you?
Who then chases them through the ship. Honorable mention to the scene in the very next episode where the tardigrade savagely kills Landry.
Computer, lights to maximum!
But for this first entry, we're focusing purely on what the hell happened in the corridor of the Spore Gore. A corridor, if you will. As well as the cherry on top discovery of Stahl's remains, including an unnaturally twisted face and ribs poking out. It's basically Discovery telling the audience right out the gate that this Trek isn't pulling any punches. We rank this one as Lieutenant. It's less about the horror of a malicious creature, but scores well in the sometimes science isn't your friend area.
There and back again.
In the Season 6 TNG episode Schisms, the tension builds pretty slowly. It starts out with simple things like Riker being tired all the time and falling asleep during meetings. I mean, we've all been there. But then things get weirder. More people behave strangely. Worf gets mad at some scissors.
I promise, not too much off the top.
Riker finds out that his arm has been severed and reattached. What? That's never happened to you? The crew realizes they have fragmented memories of a shared experience and use the holodeck to recreate what happened. This is when the true horror kicks in. They slowly manifest what is essentially a nightmarish operating table complete with creepy-looking tools. There's this wonderful scene of creepiness as they realize what's happened, that they've been repeatedly abducted and experimented on. But the creme de la abduction is later in the episode when we see Riker get taken and witness the full extent of the operating theater. Another crewman with eyes wide open and tubes up their arms, evil aliens with their sinister clicking that will straight up haunt you for days. We give this close encounter the rank of Lieutenant Commander because it goes beyond the surface scare and just messing with your mind. Besides, who doesn't like a little bit of surgical body horror? Me. I don't.
The Wrath of Khan.
For our next entry, we're headed to the movies. In Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, the titular Khan has attacked the space station Regula 1, where they are developing the Genesis device. Kirk, McCoy, and Savick beam to the station to find out what's happened after Khan's attack. Now I know what you're thinking. Didn't we literally just do an entry about discovering bodies on a derelict ship? Well, yes, but it's the differences between the two that make them so interesting. Wrath of Khan offers something scarier than a dark, creepy, lit only by flashlights haunted house sequence. This is a bright, fully operational space station that at first is just empty. It's got all the colors and flashing lights that we love about Trek, but it's forebodingly quiet. That overwhelming presence of nothing is the first note of dread. Then, after a little fake-out rat jump scare, McCoy runs into a bloody body, hanging upside down. And that's only the first of the bodies to discover. Now, there's 2 reasons this makes it on our scary Trek scenes list. First, This isn't the frantic attack of a caged creature. This is the very deliberate and calculated murder of scientists, which makes it less about the gore factor and more about the horrors of human nature, or genetically engineered superhuman nature. Anyway, this isn't theatrical con posturing. This is straight up slasher film. Secondly, it's pretty early on in Trek. So while later series delved a little deeper into the world of horror, this paved the way while still providing significant shock value. These weren't random ensigns disappearing in a shower of sparks. These are bloody, slaughtered civilians. Add in some SETI eels and we're talking high stakes and pure horror. We rank this spooky selection as Commander, and it's one of the many reasons Kirk gets to scream,
More space zombies.
In our previous episode on this topic, we covered Vulcan zombies in the Enterprise episode Impulse. But Star Trek has long been lauded for its inclusivity, so it's only fair that we give Klingon zombies their turn in the spotlight too. In the Strange New Worlds episode Shuttle to Kanfori, Pike and Mbenga take, spoiler, a shuttle to the planet Kanfori to find a rare chimera blossom. They find remains of humans and Klingons alike, with evidence that something had been eating them. They find the chimera blossom only to discover that an agent derived from the blossom had turned the scientists into mindless killers.
Whatever they are, they don't register as life signs anymore.
Man, scientists are really having a rough go in this episode. Anyway, Pike even calls them, for lack of a better word,
Zombies? Don't call them that.
Human and Klingon zombies alike attack Pike and Mbenga, and we're even treated to a particularly gruesome scene where a pack of zombies straight up devour a living Klingon. Not once, but twice. And these aren't slow plodding zombies. These are those fast, terrifying, we're gonna eat your face off zombies in a full-on swarm. And they just keep coming. Even when they're kept at bay by a force field, they're still pretty damn creepy. Not only is this episode full of brutally graphic scenes, but with the extra touch of the zombies not having life signs, you know there's not even a chance of saving them or curing them. You just have to run for your life. For that overwhelming sense of hopelessness, we award this entry the rank of captain. And maybe let's just let Kanfori be for a while.
Night terrors.
And now for our final entry, we're going to talk about your most requested scene from the Next Generation episode, Night Terrors. In this episode, the Enterprise is searching for the science vessel Britain, only to discover that most of the crew is dead. Yeah, I guess that happens a lot. Anyway, as the episode continues, we learn that the Enterprise crew is failing to achieve REM sleep, leading to irritability and, more importantly, hallucinations. It makes for some nice, thrilling scenes like Picard thinking he's about to be crushed in the turbolift, or Riker imagining snakes in his bed, which, nope. But the real horror moment is the morgue scene. Dr. Crusher finds herself all alone among the deceased crew of the Britain to take brain tissue scans. It's understandably quiet in the morgue. There's not even soundtrack music at first. We just hear the hum of the ship. Until Dr. Crusher hears a strange sound, almost like one of the bodies has moved. She hears it again, and bam, one of the most iconically terrifying scenes in Trek history, as all of the bodies have sat straight up. No gore, just pure fright. Dead bodies doing exactly what dead bodies aren't supposed to do. And it is utterly and completely terrifying. What makes this so legendary and so deserving of our top spot is it's not even a very long scene, barely a minute, and yet it is forever burned into our brains. So of course, it deserves our most honored rank of Admiral, because it is just so wrong in all the right ways. Well, that does it for part 2 of our scariest Trek moments, but there might still be some things we left on the alien abduction table, so to speak. So let us know, you know? Actually, never mind. Please don't. I can't handle this. It's so scary. Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, I'm gonna go turn on every light in my house.